Hello and welcome to something a bit different. Today I am feeling a little bit under the weather. I have my Legend of Zelda hat on because I desperately need a haircut. But beyond that, I want to share with you, I suppose, some impressions of a really interesting website which actually came to my attention last year. It was actually Jeanette actually who sent this website my way, but as I didn't really have time to record this, I really wanted to. We're actually going to be following up this video with a discussion about digital realms and museums and interactions and how I suppose how the future looks interesting and potentially very different to what some people imagined it to be in the realm of museums. But first of all, let's just dive in, shall we? This is the Museum of the World website, and it is a very interesting way of displaying artifacts from around the world. It's a partnership between the British Museum and Google, and essentially what they've done is they've created what to me looks like a musical stave, not least because every thing on the stave makes these wonderful little noises when you move your mouse over them. Now, the stave is broken up into continents. We have Africa, the Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. And well, let's see, AD 2000. Let's click on that, shall we? Ceramic vessel, African arts and culture. Find out more. And it takes you to this. Now, it's a really good way of disseminating information, and that's actually one of the key things behind this project, is revisiting how museums share information. So we have a location, we have different pictures linked with this article. We also have an audio stream. I'll play a little bit of that. It may be copyrighted, but we'll see.
Magdalena Urdundo is a contemporary artist whose work has recently been bought for the British Museum by Christopher Spring, who is...
And there we go. So that's a really obviously contemporary, a relatively contemporary piece. We can drag the timeline down using the mouse and go, let's see, to 1000 BC. What's happening in the Americas at that point? Jade pectoral. Okay, find out more. This pectoral chest ornament, broken on both sides, was carved by an Olmec artist and reused by the Maya, as shown by the two Maya glyphs on the left-hand side. Interesting. Let's see what the audio says.
This jade pectoral was found in Mexico. It was made by the ancient Olmec people in the...
Okay. So hopefully you're starting to get a little bit of a sense of how this website works. And it's a really interesting way, as I say, of showing that time is moving on in all the continents at the same time. This is something which actually historians and archaeologists, I think, sometimes do struggle with themselves, never mind the public, to actually have a sense that actually, for example, Tudor England was occurring at the same time thereabouts as other things which were happening in the Americas, the great civilizations which were occurring there. History doesn't happen in isolation. And I'm really intrigued by this. When you click on them, it connects to other dots. So Chinese Tang tomb figures connects here to copper alloy censer, Anglo-Saxon England. Let's check that one out, shall we? Oh, this censer was used for burning sweet-smelling incense during church services. And I'm yet to fully understand how the connections are, how they are intertwined. Maybe it's to do with the material, maybe it's to do with the type of object, but nonetheless, it's let's have a look here. Crocodile skin, suit of armour. This is in Africa, in ancient Egypt. Find out more.
Would a suit of armour made from the skin of a crocodile actually protect you in battle?
Good question. So it's one of those things where it's a pleasure to explore, and there is actually an associated article, a sort of blog post, which I will put a link to, along with a link to this, down in the video description below. We go all the way back to 2 million BC, Olduvai stone chopping tool. We've got Homo habilis there. I assume Homo habilis working away on his tool making.
Made nearly 2 million years ago, stone tools such as this are the first known technological invention. This one is the oldest object in the British Museum.
Well, there you go. So, I think this is a really interesting way of portraying these these artifacts. Clearly, it's not extensive. They can't fit an entire museum's collection in here. And my understanding is that this is just the beginning of a project of, I suppose, digitization and online dissemination for the benefit of the public, but also one suspects for the broader benefit of humanity. It's called the Museum of the World, and it connects all the different continents in a really inventive way. So I suppose it's not really so much a review as a slight overview, this video, because I don't really want to review it. You know, this is undeniably an interesting piece of work, and I'm actually quite impressed by it. I don't think it's necessarily going to change the way that, you know, I mean, this is very similar to some other things which we've seen before, for example, in online encyclopedias, and encyclopediae, was that the plural? But it is undoubtedly inventive, and I really look forward to seeing, I suppose, where this sort of project can lead next. Now, this is where the debate and discussion comes in. How does this relate to, for example, funding? Does this mean that actually that essentially in the future, can we expect museums to have their front of house, their shop front, as an online presence, and the museum itself is simply an archive where these artifacts are stored, so academics and the really interested individuals can actually turn up to look at them? Is this actually as good as going to the museum? Having this information displayed, having connections drawn for you.
From an Anglo-Saxon warrior's grave in Dover, England, 6th century AD, these weights and measures speak of early recycling.
Connections made for you, but also, I suppose, having the highlights chosen for you as well. That said, though, many people enjoy that from museums. They don't want necessarily to have to troll through everything. They want the highlights. And this is undeniably an extremely clever, inventive, and elegant way to do that. As I say, I love the concept. I love this sort of sense of a musical stave. It's a wonderful way to show the past. You can also actually highlight individual types of dots as well. So we have religion and belief, power and identity, living and dying, trade and conflict, art and design, and then we have presumably all of them on the stage at the same time. So there you go, guys. I really wanted to bring this to your attention. Definitely do give it a go. And if you can give it a go in time for our upcoming Archaeo chat, then you may well have a bit more of an insight into what it is that we're talking about, and indeed why. So I'll leave you there. I'll leave you to go and explore and hopefully enjoy this website for yourself. As ever, guys, whatever you're getting up to in the near future, do take care. Bye-bye.